A trip down memory lane here in Necochea.
This used to be the house, the family home. But this was our Waterloo. And he told my mom I would open up a discotheque. This was our domain when we were young. Good moments, bad moments, disappointing moments.
It's a taste of the sea, which is what we came here to experience.
Exactly. Seafood every day we're here. My dad and Sam have decided they want to go into the ocean. These two are crazy. They're going in. Sea lions by the hundreds.
This is a seaside resort. This city comes to life January and February. And they will punish you because you didn't have something that you could not afford. We burned basically all our bridges back here in Argentina, and either we succeeded in the United States or we perished.
So it is our first morning here in Necochea. This is breakfast this fine morning. Look at these cups of coffee. This is like a bowl of soup almost.
They look so big that they almost look like they, what do you call in the Middle Ages, that pot they had next to the bed to do pee-pee at night?
Oh my gosh.
A piss pot.
The piss pot.
Oh my
Huge,
God.
man. This is a bakery. It's called the Siren, La Sirena. And this was already here 55 years ago. We used to come here to buy the bread sometimes. They just renovated and they added this little niche where you can have a cafe au lait. So being the case that it's a Sunday morning and not too many businesses are open, we came to have our breakfast here. And to remember old times, I remember coming here with my friends and asking the attendant if she would give us a free pastry sometimes because we didn't have money to buy, you know. And yeah, it's amazing that they're still in business.
Yeah.
Good for them. They should be proud of themselves
Nice.
50 years later.
Can't believe the weather today. It's just absolutely gorgeous. We had so many days of continuous rain in Buenos Aires that just got a little, I don't know, felt a little depressing. Not a cloud in the sky. And it's gonna warm up too, so we're thinking of hitting the beach.
Yes,
Yeah.
the boys are thinking of running in the water. Look at the skies, look at the palm trees.
Beautiful.
Beautiful day. Okay, so today we're doing a trip down memory lane here in Necochea, and you have brought us to your old house,
Yes,
3 blocks from the beach or so.
4 blocks from the
4
beach.
blocks, okay.
Yeah. 55 years that I don't come here. After we left the country, I never came back. Today is the first time. This used to be the house, the family home. But this was our Waterloo also. This was the piece of property that ended up forcing us to immigrate and to leave the country, to leave Argentina and go towards the United States. The house was built around the early 1960s. My father had bought this plot of land when here there was nothing. This was sand dunes, you know. And eventually they decided to sell the house they had in Buenos Aires and build over here a 2-story house, 2 apartments. And the thing is that they were able to do the main construction, like the columns and the you know, like the concrete frame. But they ran out of money. I don't know if it was due to inflation or what happened. And the thing was at a standstill for maybe 3-4 years. And after to finish it, they were able to go get a loan at a
Shark loan.
A loan shark. You know,
Loan
here in
shark.
Argentina, the bank didn't give you any money for mortgages unless you were wealthy, which we were not. So to finish the house, they had to get into debt with the loan shark. And they finished the house, they finished the 2 apartments, but it was never enough. They could never pay any money out of the principal of the loan, just the interest, which were around 30% a year or something like that back then. And eventually my mom asked a friend of my brother, a young guy, what kind of business he was willing, if he had to set up a business, what would he do? And he told my mother this guy was a night guy.
A 20-something-year-old?
Yeah, a 20-something night guy. And he told my mom I would open up a discotheque. So my mom, she said, went out, got more money out of these loan sharks to build the final floor upstairs, and that was a discotheque, which back then they were not called discotheque, they were called confiterías bailable or dancing hall. The word disco did not appear until Saturday Night Fever with Travolta. And yeah, we were the third disco in the city of Necochea. There was one called Rimini, San Remo, and us. It was called Vous. In French, that means you. Okay, so upstairs we had the disco. We operated the summer month because this is a seaside resort. This city comes to life January and February, which is the summer month here in the southern hemisphere. And during the winter, like now, everything is dead. So out of 2 months out of the year, we were able to work the disco. And then we had 10 months of
Nothing.
latent life creating death that was going to be paid during the summer when the business was operating, like a lot of other business around here. So finally, 5 years later, after we opened up, they opened up another very good, very nice, very modern discotheque, and that's the one that put out of business most of the old businesses like the one we had. And the summer of 1970, we only were able to work till mid-February. That's when my mom said, okay, close it up, because nothing was happening, no customers, no action, no money. We closed half February, and that's when we decided, that's it. My mom said, you go to the property in Córdoba, and her with my sister, my middle sister, that had done a year of international student exchange in the United States, and she spoke English. They got on a plane and they took off for New York City, and we followed like 4 months later. And in another video, if you like and if you ask, I can tell you the whole story of the immigration and how it was, and the hardship that we had to go through in New York City. I was 16 years old. We left with $100 in our pocket. No green card or residence card. We went as tourists, and we burned basically all our bridges back here in Argentina, and either we succeeded in the United States or we perished. So that's another episode.
Interesting mural we found here at the park. Look at this, Kanazawa, Necochea.
Yeah. So this is sort of like my first few hours here in the city, and I've been really enjoying it. Beautiful temperatures first off. I mean, we've got the sun, we got a nice little bit of wind. This is my kind of weather, just wearing a light flannel. And so far the impressions of this city is that, well, I mean, we are visiting in the off season, but it's a nice quiet place, a nice alternative to the hustle and bustle of Mar del Plata, which is just absolutely packed with tourists in the high season, where we visited a few years ago. But what I like so far about it is seems very livable. There's a lot of green spaces, a lot of parks, a lot of nice areas to walk. Beautiful day to be exploring, and yeah, I'm excited to see more of the landmarks and to hear more of your dad's stories from the past. It's I'm glad that we made the effort to come here so far.
We found something here. We found a rugby field, and curiously enough, I was just telling Audrey 5 minutes ago back there that my brother, her uncle, was one of the ones that pioneered the first rugby club of Necochea. You know, he was one of the founders of the Necochea Rugby Club. And I was telling Audrey that they used to practice over there in between the trees and blah, blah, blah. And then we keep walking and find this area that it seems that finally they have a more professional area where to practice and where to play. The field seems to be kept pretty good. I still remember when they decided to create the rugby club, and they were looking for members, and they had this little booklets printed as a membership carnet, and they were going, you know, to all the friends and their family and their fathers, asking to join and to give a little bit for the effort. And yeah, they got a whole bunch of people involved, and finally it took off, and they had matches with all the other rugby clubs of the area and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good to see that she's not disappeared completely. That was more than 60 years ago. probably, or even more, you know. There you have your family history. Audrey?
Alrighty, so we just walked down to the beach, Necochea Beach. It is huge, it is massive, and it is a windy day, so
Yeah.
we hope you can hear us.
I hope you can hear us. This was our domain when we were young. We spent the whole day at the beach. The whole day. 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the evening sometimes. That was the ocean that we swam in. South Atlantic is so cold that to go into the ocean you cannot walk in slowly because you'll change your mind. You have to run like crazy and go into the water, and as soon as it's deep enough, boom, you dive. This is where we used to surf the waves when we were kids. But back then there were no surfing boards here. So what we used to do was body surfing, what it's called. You have to go in, usually after a storm, the waves were big. You have to swim back there and try to catch the wave and swim with it so it'll bring you back to the shore. The ocean was giving us a life lesson, and we did not know about it. Sometimes you try to catch the wave, you had to be at the right place at the right time when the wave was forming. Try to get on top. Swim with it. So when the wave broke, you broke with it at the right, exact, precise moment, and it'll bring you all the way to the shore. You know, like you were going like that, and the roaring of the wave and the foaming of the wave. The only thing that was sticking out was your head in front of the wave there. Sometimes you thought you were at the right place at the right time, and you tried catching the wave, and you didn't. He left you behind, like so many times in life, you're left behind. Some other times, you were able to catch a wave, and you got on top of it, but too far ahead. So when the wave broke, it took you down with it, down to the bottom. And oh my gosh, that was ugly. It was like a whirlwind, like a clothes washer down there. It were a few seconds, but it looked like eternal that you were down there. Dark. You did not know what was up, down, left, right, until you finally were able to surface. Ooh, air. Huh. Those are the moments of life when you have a hard time and it feels like life is destroying you. Yeah? And then you had those waves that you were there at the right place at the perfect moment. You swam with the wave when it was forming, and the wave broke, and you broke with it at the right position, and it just brought you all the way to the shore. Those are the good moments of life when you saw. The way I say it, the ocean was giving us a life lesson, but we were young. We did not know. Now that you lived a whole life, you realize, hey, surfing the waves of Necochea was not that different as a life lived, you know? Good moments, bad moments, disappointing moments. And the ocean did all that. So yeah, that's what we used to do here, you know? We used to play, it was like a ball with a wooden paddle. We used to make on the sand. We used to do like a tennis court, market, one on each side, and ta 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 ta. You know, the water here has a lot of iodine.
Iodine.
Iodine. Sometimes the the foam of the wave is not white, it's yellow, brownish yellow. And the doctor said that's really good for you. That's why we grew up really healthy, yeah? And I remember when I was maybe 3-4 years old, with my twin sister, we got whooping cough back then. And the doctor told my mother, take the kids to the ocean and put them in the water. That's how they're going to get well. And it was not summertime, it was like now. My mom took us, I still remember, you know, being here like almost naked with my mother and my sister, my twin sister, in the water. It was cold, this water is freezing. But believe it or not, we healed from whooping cough, you know. So today I'm having this problem after COVID that I cannot stop coughing and stuff like that. I was thinking maybe today I can take my clothes off. Look at the sun.
Sand, the way it's blowing.
We can go in.
Okay,
for sure.
so in the afternoon.
After lunch.
That's the plan, in the afternoon.
Is that a dead penguin or what?
Oh, who knows?
Anyway, people, I hope you like all these stories and we don't get to bore you. But we don't know if you're listening to this because the wind is really strong. So I'm talking a little bit louder to try to get you a little bit more power. And now we're going to go eat. And then we're gonna go see if we take a bath or what is it that we do? Huh? Let's go.
So entree here, I got the seafood salad, guys. This looks wonderful. The colors are just so appetizing. Look at this. And my dad went for the calamari. We got a set lunch, which includes entree, main dish, and dessert. So.
Main dish is paella. And dessert. Well, that's for 13 bucks.
It'll be a surprise, yeah, 13 bucks. So yeah, Sam and I have the exact same dish.
Amazing. Like completely
Look
fresh.
at that.
Dressing, lemon. Like it's a taste of the sea. Which is what we came here to experience.
Exactly, seafood every day we're here.
Every day, without fail.
Without fail.
We're not touching the milanesas. We're not going for pizza.
Stay away from the meat.
It's pure seafood while we're here.
Calamari.
Calamari.
You wanted to eat?
I wanted to eat, yeah.
You know, the portions are so generous. Like this is gonna be the meal of the day.
Meal of the day.
For sure.
Bien.
And we still have a dessert.
This was one of the houses where we did live for a while. I remember we were very small, very young, and there used to be a male nurse that used to come once a week on a bicycle with his little attaché to give us injections of vitamins. And we were really small. In those days, vitamins were not by mouth, it was by injection. So he used to come and turn on the gas stove, put the little metal box on the fire to boil, and in there he had the needles and he had the syringe. Syringe was made out of glass. And then he said, okay, who goes first? We used to scramble through the house, hide, scream, cry, until one of us got caught. This one goes first. My mom used to put us on top of her, bend us over on her knee, pull down the pants, and Penso, the nurse, was with a pair of tweezers. He was choosing which needle he was going to take and looking at them like that. No, this one is not sharp enough. Grab another one. The point of the needle was cut at a 45 angle, and if you look through the needle, you could see light at the other end. That they were thick like spears. The head was made out of solid brass, where it went into the hypodermic. So finally, when they caught one of us, the nurse, with the palm of his hand, he will go like this on our butt. But in these two fingers, he had the needle there. So he would go like that to soften the little butt, and then, wah! In it went, and gave us the shot. Oh, we used to hate it. Once a week, crying, and the saying, my mother said, don't move, don't move. stay still because the needle can break inside of you and we're gonna have to operate. You know, they're gonna have to take you to the hospital and have an operation. So on top of everything and the pain and the fear, you still had that fear. If I move and the needle
I
breaks
die.
in my butt, I'm gonna go end up in the hospital, you know, or something like this. Oh, those days were tough, you know. That's why we grew up with that fear of needles and injections and everything like that. It was not the vitamins came in a small glass vial like this, and they had this little metal, it was like a saw, that they would cut the top, track, and suck with the hypodermic and the needle, you know, all the liquid, and get you like that. And this is what used to happen here. The four of us got it, you know. Every week the same story. When we heard the bell ring, the doorbell ring, oh, that's Penso. 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Once a week he put his bicycle over here, and his little attaché was made out of leather with a flap that he would hang over the bicycle, you know, the pipe of the bicycle. He'll put it over, so while he was pedaling, that thing was hanging from the, you know, the bicycle frame, right? So, oh yeah, no, I don't want to think about that, but this is tough over here.
It brings back the memories.
Back to memory lane, okay? Let's go to the beach.
To the beach.
Yeah.
It's more fun, huh?
Oh, man.
So it's autumn right now, but today is the warmest day that we're going to get here in Necochea. It is now 3 p.m. and the high is 18 degrees. That's the highest temperature today. And because it's sunny, not a single cloud in the sky, my dad and Sam have decided they want to go into the ocean. So they're gonna test out the waters,
They sell water.
see how hot, not how hot, see how cold it is, and that'll determine whether they go in all the way or just wade up to their knees. We'll see.
That looks like a bar, huh? Remember how cold it was in Israel?
So shoes and socks coming off,
That's right.
then they're gonna see how cold the water is and determine
I'm gonna roll up my pants first. Look at this.
what the plan of action is.
And if it's okay, we're gonna go in our fundies.
We brought towels, we brought underwear.
We'll just run in, huh?
Okay, well, buena suerte, vayan. Ah, these two are crazy, they're going in.
Well, I'll tell you what. We were the only people brave enough to go in there today. Not a single soul. And it's as cold as you think it is.
It's really cold.
It's really
It's
cold.
really cold.
Ice cold.
Ice cold, yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to do more harm than good.
You end up with pneumonia
I could
after.
end up with pneumonia. So we went up to our waist,
Yeah, that's it.
and it felt. How does it feel? Like putting your legs in a bucket full of ice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, seriously, like
Rough.
my feet still feel frozen.
Yeah. The feet feel like numb from the cold.
Yeah.
South Atlantic. Wow. At this time of the year, even worse.
But you know what? Good for us. We were brave enough to do it. No one else today.
No one else did
No
it.
one else.
And I will give my cancer. My leg cancer.
Okay. They changed their mind after all. They're running back in. My dad was already regretting it. Oh my gosh, these two.
We did it.
You did it. Lo hicieron. Ahora se sienten mejor.
Ahí está.
Ahí está.
Woo.
Alrighty, so how did that feel? How was that for you?
The water was cold, but we came in first till our waist. We came out, we said, no, it's too cold. And then I got this guilty feeling. And I said, how come I'm not going to say goodbye to the beaches of Necochea and the ocean without a plunge? And I said, okay, let's go. We gotta do this. So we run in, which is a way to do it when the water is really cold. You don't walk in slowly like a ballerina. You just gotta dash in, And we took a dive, and now I feel reinvigorated. Okay, maybe like what they did with us when we were little children, that we had the whooping cough, and they took us into the ocean to get rid of it, and it happened. We got rid of it. Maybe now I can get rid of this. After COVID, I have this problem with my throat, with my chest, that is always kind of like like something is there and doesn't want to go away. So maybe this is what I needed.
Alrighty guys, good morning. Day 2 here in Necochea. It is a windy one. This morning we took a cab out to the port. There's actually a giant cargo ship coming in to load up with grains. I'm just gonna pause you here, turn you around. There we go. The 2 tugboats are assisting it right now as it enters the port. And there are so many sand dunes all around here. Like, just look over my shoulder. This is crazy. I didn't realize the size of the sand dunes here in Necochea. It is quite impressive. So yeah, we're just gonna enjoy a walk out here, and surprise, surprise, we're gonna get to see sea lions by the hundreds. I'm super excited for that. So, who got chased by the sea lions today?
I almost did.
What happened?
They're territorial, so I went up on the rock like I was like, hey, I'm the new king of the colony, and they came. They were like rising, and I think they were gonna chase after me. So I got out of there at the right time. They decided not to. They're very docile, but they're like, don't sneak up on them like I did. Got to be a little bit more respectful of their space.
More respectful. So here we have the sea lion colony. I am shocked by how close they are to the road.
Yeah, they're very friendly.
They are.
Yeah,
they're
if you
sleeping
don't-
right next to us.
If you don't bother them, they don't do nothing unless you really get close. Then they can bite. We found exactly when we're coming. There is this cargo ship coming into port to load the grain that Argentina exports to the world. That's what we need in this country. Ships coming into port 24/7, feed the world, export, and more export. That's what makes a nation great. Okay? The sea lions here, when I was living in the city, we did not have these colonies. There were maybe 2 or 3 by the fishing docks over there, and they used to sleep on top of the small fishing boats. But now we have 2 colonies here. So we're gonna walk down to the pier, to the breaker. This is where we used to come do our fishing when we were kids. Back then, every couple of months of the year, there was a different species of fish, a school of fish coming around here. So every 2-3 months, we had something different to come and to try to get. And back then, it was not catch and release. We came to fish to put some meat on the table.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only thing missing here now is the icon that was here at the entrance of this pier, which was the crane that built this. It was a Titan crane brought to Argentina from England, from Bath, England. Was built in 1916. And it was a crane that was actually ahead of its time because it had a steam engine which ran a generator which fed electricity to electric motors. You know, in the early 1900s, imagine that. That was ahead of its time. Now, in the year 2007, these cranes were declared patrimony of humanity of the heavy industrial equipment, let's say. I think there is only 10 or 12 left in the world. And we had one over here, standing right here, and for lack of maintenance, I guess it rusted away and they had to scrap it. Can you imagine if we could have something like this right now, today, when people appreciate all things and engineering machine from the beginning of the 20th century, it would have been something else, eh? So yeah, we don't have it anymore. Sad to see it.
So this is our appetizer, our entree. We got an order of cornalitos, these tiny little battered fried fish. My dad is squeezing lemon on them, and apparently we eat the whole thing, the entire thing.
Oh, they're delicious. Tastes so good with the lemon and the salt added. Lightly battered, then they're crispy but not too much, you know? Look at that.
Yeah. It doesn't taste weird eating the head, like they're so little.
You eat everything there, just
Everything. Bones and everything.
It's similar to the, you know, the kind of fried fish you would get in Canada and the US too, you know?
They look like minnows.
I feel like fried scallops and you're like fried squid. Feels like this.
That's really good. So the mains arrived. Let's start with Sam. What did you get?
It's locally called pescado a la pizza, which is basically fish with the pizza toppings on it. So you basically get your fried fish, and then they have tomato sauce and cheese. So it turns it into a pizza.
Yes.
And then I have a nice pumpkin puree.
Nice.
The portions are absolutely massive. This place is technically a bodegon. So they, you know, when you go to the bodegons, you usually get really hearty meals. Like they fill it. If you have this as a lunch, you don't need a supper. That's how big it is. And with the appetizer and bread we've already had, and all the wine, and plus this.
Like, we're on the second bottle of wine, might I add?
Yeah. It's we took a long time to eat our appetizer, so we burned through the first one real fast.
Through the first one. Yeah. And then I'll show you my dish. I got the seafood, the mixed seafood rice. Again, huge portion right here. And my dad already started working on his fish.
I already had a fillet.
Yes, you did, with fries.
Yeah, fillet with fries. The good thing about it is that this is all fish out here in the ocean. There is no waste of transportation of the fish. It comes out of the ocean, it goes into the cooking pot. So this is as fresh as you can get. And it's really tasty, and you can tell the difference from frozen fish because it tastes like a seawater. It tastes like the ocean. The fish has the taste of the ocean. It's fresh, it just came out.
Today we're visiting the place where my dad went to school. This place is called Manuel Estrada. Very nice building, I have to admit. This is beautiful. It's in the downtown of Necochea. Okay, so now we are visiting your old school.
Yep.
Your former grounds. This is where you did what, four years of studies?
Yeah, roughly I did. This was it's mostly a high school, but back in the days they also had, I think, the last 2 years of
Primary?
primary school you could do here, which I did, and yeah, this is where we used to come every day. We had to take the bus from the beaches. It's funny because we thought it was such a long day of study, but the school, the bell rang at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 12 o'clock we were out. There was a big factory around here, and they had a siren. At 12 o'clock we could hear the siren blowing, you know. And then we had 3 recesses of 15 minutes. That's 45 minutes. So out of 4 hours, 45 minutes was recess. So actually we had 3 hours and a quarter of class every day. And then I think it was twice a week, if I'm not mistaken, or once a week in the afternoon, we had to come for a gym class. And you couldn't skip because they would put you half a missed class, you know. And all through the year they had a system that you had so many days that you could be out of school because if you were sick, and if you overdid it, they kicked you out for the year. You lost the year. You couldn't study anymore.
You had to do it all over again the next year.
You had to start all over again. Today, nobody repeats the year. I mean, they pass you automatically, and that's why we have so many people that don't even know how to read or write when they come out of high school. In my days, you had to have a percentage of grades.
Yeah.
You had to have, it was graded from 0 to 10, and you had to have an average of 7 to pass to the next year. Otherwise, if you did not get that 7% average, you were kicked back. Okay, do it again, because you did not learn anything here, you know?
Yeah.
You cannot go to the next level. So yeah, even though this was a public school, it's still a public school, we had a dress code over here. And it was a blue blazer, white shirt, blue tie, gray pants, gray socks, black shoes. But given the economic situation of our family, I was never able to have the dress code that the school required. I was the only student here. Maybe it was 500, 600, 1,000 students, I don't know, which came to school without the blue blazer, and whatever they could find, they would put it on me, and that made me suffer a lot because it's just kind of you were the target for all the jokes, you know. You know, people don't understand. You know, young kids don't understand that maybe you could not afford it, but it was always a tasteless joke. Same with gym class. We have to have the equipment, and so many times I used to come to gym class and I didn't have the running shoes. My mom could not afford to buy them, and I would come with the same shoes that I was wearing to school. So the gym teacher would say, why don't you bring the the outfit, white shorts, a blue, it was like a sweatshirt, white running shoes, and white socks. And they'll put me in the bench and say, okay, you're not going to play soccer, you're not going to do anything because you don't have your equipment, and they will punish you because you didn't have something that you could not afford. But yeah, that was the thing back then. But I remember every Monday morning we had the head,
the mistress?
Yeah, the lady that was in charge of security and behavior of all the kids. She will stand over there, and the boys, how to go single file, and she would go like this in our hair. And if she could curl the hair around her finger, she'll write you down and say, okay, this afternoon you have to go to the barber shop and have your hair cut, or tomorrow you don't come in. And we couldn't come with the hair like this. We had to use gomina, like a dippity-doo,
Like a gel or something.
Like a gel. In those days, they sold it in big jars like that. Yellow, red, blue, you could choose a color. And we had to have the hair like, we were all Rudolph Valentinos, but everything had to be really nice and tucked and not one hair out of place. There was a lot of emphasis on the way you looked, on discipline. Here, the teachers or the professors had the same right as your parents at home. They used to tell us, the teacher is your second mother in the school, so they have all the rights to reprimand you and to get you going straight. And the professors in high school here, some of them were really tough. I mean, we were literally terrified of some of the professors, Especially there was a couple of ladies that they were just the one from geography, or when she walked into the classroom, we tried to hide behind the guy sitting in front of you so she wouldn't see you and she wouldn't call your name to come over here the front of the class and start explaining what we learned yesterday, my gosh, it was tough. The teacher or the professor, basically, it was not your friend, or he was your enemy. He was trying to squish you, so you had to be always on your guard and try to learn as much as possible, because if you did not get the grade and you had repeat the year, it was like a family dishonor. Oh, your child had to do again the year. That was looked at, oh my gosh, how could you have a kid that has to go twice and do the same year, So, no, it's not like it is today. Things were different. Strict discipline, good behavior, respect, and that's how we grew up.
You want to wave?
It's entire block.
It's a nice building. Here we are in front of the school. This is the square. It used to be a fountain around here. I think over there they removed it. But the reason why I'm here is because I wanted to tell you, this was the place where if two guys had a beef with each other,
yeah.
This is where the problem was usually got solved. Okay, this is where the fight happened. And back then we had a code of honor, a code of behavior. If two guys were going to fight, it was only 1 against 1. No 5 against 1 or no 10 against 1. No, 1 to 1. There were things that were not allowed to be done. If a boy had glasses, prescription glasses, he was untouchable. He could never fight. There is no way anybody was going to go in a fight with somebody wearing glasses. And if they removed the glasses, they were at disadvantage because they couldn't see. So that was out of the question. Number 2, if you were involved in a fist fight, no kicking, no biting, no scratching, not pulling of the hair. If one of the guys fell to the ground, no kicking the person while he was on the ground. Not even think about grabbing a stick or a stone to hit, like today they do. You see, they do a lot of that stuff. And, the one that bled first, that was the one that lost the fight. That was the end of it. If blood came out from the nose or from the mouth or whatever, that was the end of the story. And in a lot of these cases, these guys that had a fight, it ended up being best of friends after. Another way that the problem was solved was if the gym teacher knew about it, that there was a problem between two of the students. When we had a gym class, he'll bring out the boxing gloves, tell the rest of the class, make a circle. You and you have a problem, okay, go inside and go at it, So they'll box it out. And at the end, teacher would say, okay, is that enough? Yeah, okay, shake hands. And now you're friends, and that's it. It's over. So we didn't have any issues or any problems of rage, revenge, or I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna, stab you, or a lot of the things that happen today with the young students at school. No, we had that code of behavior, and yeah, there were problems. There always be problems between young men that they wanna show, which one is tougher than the other one. But that's the way the problems were resolved, and we never had an issue whatsoever that one of the boys got hurt really bad, or now more than a bloody nose or a black eye. That was the end of it. And don't go back to school the next day to tell the teacher or the monitors that, oh, I got beat up by such and such. If you got into the melee and you were willing to fight it, if you lost, you shut up and you didn't even tell your parents about it, okay? That was the way it was done back then. But anyway, today, something like this, I don't know if it could be considered, but maybe it will be a good steam outlet for all of the problems that some of the young people and students have at school.
They should play video games. That's what they could do. I'm better at the video game. That would be the modern version, right?
The little
I'm better.
console.
I'm better at the console.
Oh my God. So a little tour of our lunch today. Sandwich, ham and cheese, nice little macaroni and mayo salad. My dad and I got the exact same sandwich. It's huge. Look at that.
Prosciutto.
Prosciutto. Some fries with mustard. You put mustard on French fries? What happened?
I just felt like it's gonna taste good, That's what I'm in the mood for.
Nice.
And I got the Milanese Napolitana. It doesn't have the tomato sauce. It just has some tomato slices, which you can see.
So
also
you
put a
added
bit of ketchup. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's gonna be, we're taking it easy today.
Yeah.
Not we're stuffing ourselves for
This
days.
is our version of a light meal.
This is what we after what we've been eating. It is technically.
Yeah.
But.
And we're eating at a bar. It's called Bar Rex. It dates from 1938, and it was started by a Danish family. So look at the vibe.
Got
Pretty
some
cool.
great artifacts in here, like an old coffee machine. It has a section over there. It shows different types of marine knots different types of knots you can tie. And then of course the classic bar in the background.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we ended up at a little cafe drinking some coffees and
So what's interesting about this place is it's called La Grifa, and apparently it's been around since 1955. It's the official alfajor of the city, basically. There's locations all over the city. We've got two nearby here. This one's close to the beach. And this is my first time to try it. Your dad grew up with these, but it was my first time to try it. I'm excited. This is the meringue one.
So basically it's 2 cookies with dulce de leche filling, which is like a caramel spread. And this one is coated in sugar, like a meringue-like sugar.
It's delicious, very sweet. It's the perfect little accompaniment to having a cup of coffee in the afternoon. Perfect little snack.
And for $1.50, you can't go wrong with a coffee and a little alfajor.
Great afternoon combination.
Yeah.
Apparently, your dad was saying these used to be like twice or 3 times as big. So they're small little snacks.
Yeah, I don't know. The ladies who work here are saying that's an exaggeration.
Oh.
It was not that big.
When I was a child, these things used to be like that.
Maybe because you had little hands, little mouths, so it was like, wow.
I don't know, but I remember that it was a meal to have an alfajor. And I already had the one chocolate cover, It went in like, whoop, and now I'm waiting for the coffee to have this one.
The next one.
First time in 55 years that I'm gonna try one of these.
Good stuff.
Hey, life goes on and the time passes, and then you realize when you come back to a place like this, wow, it's been 55 years that I don't taste one alfajor from this manufacturer. And they're still in business, so they must be doing something good to be in business after 70 years, right?
Yeah.
So
Good for them.
It's an it's an institution here.
yeah,
An institution.
Their,
like
their competitor across the street, Havana, is maybe a little bit more well-known countrywide.
Yeah.
But they haven't been able to take over here. This is the territory of La Grifa.
La Grifa.
La Grifa owns this town.
Excellent.
Havana is the trademark alfajor of the
Mar del
city
Plata.
of Mar del Plata, and La Grifa, which are these, is the trademark from the city of Necochea. So there is always that kind of
Competition.
rivalry.
Yeah?
Which
Like,
one is better? Which one is the best? And
It's like River Plate versus
River
Boca.
Plate versus Boca Juniors, the
And
Alfajor.
except Alfajor is not football.
Okay, so it is our last night here in Necochea, so we have come down to the beach one more time for sunset.
yeah, we thought the sun was going to set on top of the ocean, like I remember when I was here during the summer, but we have to think that we're in autumn. So now the sun is going to set there behind the buildings. But it's still going to be a beautiful afternoon to see the sunset and to see the sun go down. And the ocean today is so nice, huh? The waves are so relaxing. You can hear the roaring, the constant roaring of the waves, and it calms you down, So yeah, this is. Who knows when we'll be back, if I'll be back. But as the viewers can see, the openness, this is considered to be the best beach of Argentina because of the width, and I think it's over 100 kilometers long. And that gives you an idea what it was for us to 1 week be living in a place like this with our normal
Routine.
teenagers' lives. We're 16 years old, and a week later we were in New York City, 1970, working in a factory without the language, with no money, without a defined legal status, and you can compare it with a bird that is free and flying, and you grab him and you put him inside a cage. That's what we felt like, when we arrived in New York and we had to start that kind of a life just to survive. So, yeah, this is where we came out from, and that's where we landed. So it was hard. It was not easy because we always thought, oh, the beach, Necochea, it was so nice, so quiet, no danger. And New York was the most dangerous city in the world in 1970 with all of its problems. So, yeah, for us, it was an eye-opener of what we had left behind, what we had here, and we did not really 100% maybe appreciate it, because you only appreciate it when you lose it. So when we lost it, we said, hey, but yeah, this is what it is. Look at this beach. It's unbelievable. And now it seems a lot smaller because they robbed like 30% of the beach with this, I don't know whose idea was to build parking, all these restaurants and all these things on top of the sand, and it took away part of the charm that this place had. Like, this place was like 3 city blocks of golden sand, and now you have all these sticks planted on the ground to put the shades for the cars to go in during the summer month. I don't know. I don't understand it. But anyways, they did it. And still, it's a good thing that we went into the water the first day that we came, because these last 2 days has been a little bit cooler, and at least we had a chance, and I had a chance of dipping myself into my, old beach. So yeah, that's what it is, people. And I hope that you enjoyed this video from this city. And if you want to know more about the family life history, write in the comments and we'll make a few videos. We just do not want to intrude, but if you're interested to know what happened to us, why we had to immigrate, how was the immigration, all the hardships and everything that happened, just let us know in the comments and I can do something for you. Okay? Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.